Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is quite different actually. I've had this requested quite a few times off a few different people, so I decided to finally make this video. So as you can see, I've already got my makeup done. Again in my kitchen. My setup's a bit weird, so if I'm at an odd angle and I look like crap, that's because I've just been at work all day and I've just got home and decided to film this video. So this video is kind of how to survive uni, I guess. I mean, first year is hard for everyone and most people have already started uni or start this week. That's why I've decided to make this video now. Sorry about the light. Like if I move, because I look at my laptop and you can see the light, I apologise. Anyway, so this video's going to be a kind of spill the tea on uni life and some tips and tricks to help you get through it, starting from right at the very beginning when you first go to open days, which will be helpful for year 12s, and going on to write your personal statement, which would be helpful for year 13s. Our first piece of advice is to visit open days early. You can start visiting them in summer, and I started visiting mine in October. I think if you visit them early, when you decide what uni you want to go to and you've whittled it down to like 4 or 5 choices, you can then revisit that unit and look more in detail about your course, your accommodation. When I first came to Hull, I really liked it and I could see myself living here, and I think that's another really important thing. But I didn't look at accommodation. Well, I looked at accommodation, but I only looked at one. So when it came to applying, I applied for the one that I'd looked at, but I didn't get my first choice. I actually ended up living somewhere that I'd never seen before, and an accommodation that my friend lived in, I didn't even know existed. So I definitely would say make sure you take the full day to look around it. I think that's my biggest piece of advice for open days, because the earlier you look, you can make a decision faster, and then you can re-look at some places if you have any doubts or any queries or questions. Because when I didn't look at my accommodation, I had to wait till the following June, which I was going to uni in the September and I hadn't seen my accommodation till the June previous. And that was when the open days were, so I had to book on as an open day even though I was going to the uni. The next topic is personal statements. My biggest thing to say would be to not stress, and that is, like, you write your personal statement, you're gonna stress, let's be honest, because this is the thing that's going to get you into uni. People at your school are going to help you, obviously. You're not just going to be winging it solo. But for me, my personal statement was aimed at 2 courses. So I applied for both psychology and law. I think it's really hard to write a personal statement for 2 courses, especially if you're in the same situation as I was in. I knew I wanted to do something between them 2 courses, but I didn't know what. Writing a personal statement is hard enough as it is, because you've got to really enforce that you want to study that subject. So writing it for 2 subjects is almost contradictory, because he's saying I really want to do law because, and then in the next breath he's saying I really want to do psychology because. Like, I rang up and I checked universities and they're not allowed to like judge you based on the fact that you're writing it for 2 courses. They can't think, well, does she actually want to do law because she's also written that she really wants to do psychology? So they can't actually do that, but it still plays in your mind. It's a stressful situation, but at that time, there's bigger things to stress about. Like, if you're doing A-levels, you've got to focus on them in your exams, and I did BTEC, so I had coursework throughout. So I had like 10, 15 assignments, and we still had to write this personal statement. It's a really stressful time, but just try and not focus on it too much. Like, write your first draft, send it off to your teacher, get feedback, and just keep improving it. If it takes you 10, 15 drafts, that's completely fine. I think mine took about 12. I'm reading back mine now, I have no idea how I got into uni. My last thing on personal statements would probably be to just make it really personal. Like, I know it's in the title, so it kind of gives it away, but refer to everything back to yourself. Any hobbies that you've got, link it to what you want to do. Like, I had a hobby of cooking, and there's lots of laws to do with cooking and hygiene and everything like that, and honestly, just if you link everything back to what you want to study, you can't go far wrong. So leading on from that, after you've applied, got in, etc, etc. I think the next thing that I'd say is try and make friends before you go. On social media there's loads and loads of groups which are dedicated to your university, for your year. And I literally just typed into Facebook, Hull Freshers 2017/18, and then there's so many people that comment saying like, oh, who's doing this subject, who's living here. Just comment saying, yeah, I'm doing law, or yeah, I'm living here. And just add some people and then just message them, or they might message you and just say like, hey, we're going to be on the same course, like nice to meet you. Just get chatting about things, ask them about their summer, and then when you actually meet them, you've kind of got an icebreaker already, because you can be like, oh, so how was your summer like? Did you enjoy this? Did you enjoy that? It kind of gives you a confidence boost because you already know a little bit about them, so you kind of already have a conversation going. So a few people messaged me about the drama that happened in my friendship group. We didn't really go on it much in my video that I did with G, so I'm not really going to touch on it. People ask for like a spill the tea video, and honestly it wouldn't be fair to anyone in my friendship group. But I will just say, choose your friends wisely, and people who on the surface might seem your friend really might not be. Talk to each other in the group. I'm not saying be like paranoid, being like, is this person bitching about me, is this person like, what's being said? Because the majority of the time there's nothing going on. But if someone says, oh, this person said this behind your back, just ask that person outright, because we didn't, and then it was a whole big thing. Just trust each other, and if anyone's got an issue, just speak to each other and resolve it. Just don't go behind each other's backs, because you're not in high school anymore. It doesn't help, and at the end of the day you're going to be with these people for the next 3 years. So with that being said, just have fun with your friends. My number one regret from first year is not going out as much, and that sounds really cliche, and I don't mean going out like clubbing or partying. I mean just having movie nights, or going to the cinema, or bowling, or just doing anything with your friends. Because I worked a lot, and sometimes you kind of feel a bit left out, which brings me on to my next topic of work. So I actually got a job in October. As I was saying previously, sometimes you do miss out on things with jobs. Like all my friends went out for Halloween and parties around Christmas time, and I obviously couldn't go because most of them were on a weekend when I was working. Deciding who you're living with. You have to decide who you're living with pretty early, and I think we signed for our house the end of November, beginning of December, so it's really early. Like, you've known these people for what, 2 months, you decided to spend the next year of your life with them. I think my biggest tip is, if you can, live with a few people, because even if you fall out or you're not as close to certain people, like as the year goes on, you've always got someone else. I'd really just say try and get to know them and keep in contact, because if over summer and from like whenever, if you do not speak to that person, it is going to be so awkward. So my biggest tip is to actually keep in contact with the people you're going to live with, because otherwise when you move in, you haven't spoken to that person in 7 months. My final thing to say is just have fun. Don't worry about it, because at the end of the day everyone's in the same position. Everyone's just moving for the first time, whether you've just turned 18 like I was, or you're a mature student, you're all in the same position. So I really would just say have fun and don't worry about it. Like, don't get stressed over it. I spent so much of first year stressed or crying because of arguments within my friendship group, or because of like actual uni itself, and it is not worth it. Like, obviously uni is because you want to do well, and like a lot of people just stress. I stress before there's even stress to think about. Arguments within your friendship group, majority of the time it's going to be sorted next week. I'm in no way saying that I know exactly what I'm talking about, because I don't. Like, I'm just speaking from personal experience, because at the end of the day, like, I've just finished my first year, I'm going into my second year. Just want to say a huge thank you for everyone who's made it this far, and thank you for tuning into this video. I also want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's subscribed and liked my videos in the past, because it really does mean the world. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.